Well, what I have to say to people about the scientific evidence is that we have evidence that it's working, number one, because our test scores are through the roof. And what I would say to people who want to try this but haven't seen the scientific evidence yet is make sure you have a really good interim assessment program in place to make sure that you can really keep an eye on your kids and making sure they're progressing. And that's what we did. We did it responsibly. We told the teachers, look, we're doing this responsibly. We're trying out something completely new. I was confident it was going to work. I knew, because when you're bringing kids together and you look at how many teaching points happen in a group, you know the kids are going to be learning. And also the kids were happy about reading. So just that in itself, we knew that the scores would be good and the kids would learn. But what I would do is I put in a assessment program where you're checking in with their reading. So we did it in many ways. We did running records consistently, and we also had the Degrees of Reading Power test, which is a standardized test that's been around for a long time. It's you get a score. It's norm referenced, criterion referenced. So this score really gives you an idea of how your kids are doing based on the national average, and you can see the incremental change. So it's a good assessment to see if you're moving as a school. And that's really what clued us into the fact that Unison Reading was really transforming the kids in reading, because we saw those scores go up so quickly and consistently. So that's what I would recommend if you're feeling a little insecure about doing it because it's not scientifically proven yet. We're in the process of doing that. It takes a while. There aren't really that many reading programs that are truly scientifically proven. Now, I am a critic of this scientifically proven stuff that's out there, because you can scientifically prove that a fluency program works. You give a child a fluency program and that's all you do with them for the 12 weeks, they're going to be better at fluency and you're going to have tests to prove that. Okay? You could do, a decoding program, and that can be scientifically proven. Or any program can be really scientifically proven, because if you're pulling children out and you're really teaching them reading, one-on-one or in small group for a lot of time, kids are going to get better, true. But are they going to get better at the actual true reading process? Unison Reading is different from all of those because it's in the classroom. Kids aren't pulled out. It's not skill specific in the sense of like a specific decoding skill or fluency. It's very much skill driven because it's all about the skill of reading. Unison Reading, that's all it is about. But it's in the real reading process. So we are working on getting it scientifically proven, but I'm critical and careful of scientifically proven programs. And again, also, not only are our scores great, our standardized scores are great, but our kids are happy. Our kids are engaged in reading. They love it. So teachers will tell you, there's no other way of going back. There's no going back to anything else. That you can't scientifically prove. You can't prove the happiness quotient in our school. And it's not just about happiness. It is. I mean, kids are happy, they're going to do well in school. I always say that's a really simple, scientifically proven, I think, formula, or it doesn't need to be. So, no, it's not scientifically proven yet, but if you're insecure about it, then put your own good interim assessments in place to make sure the kids are growing. We have DIBELS in the lower grades, DRP. Those are great assessments, good dipstick measurements. If they're doing well in those, that's scientific evidence right there.
And you might mention too about guided reading, or the traditional small group reading formats haven't been scientifically proven, have they?
All right. So I am a big critic of scientifically proven, but one of the reading programs that's taken over the country is guided reading. And that's not scientifically proven at all. And Unison Reading is based on great theory, a real theoretical basis. But many of the programs that schools are using today haven't been scientifically proven. There aren't many that have been. And again, the ones that have been, I'm really critical of. I wouldn't use. Because again, it's reductionist model of learning that they've taken response to intervention and differentiation to the extreme, where it's not democratic anymore and it's not closing the achievement gap. And the evidence out there is out there for that. Yet we continue to use these programs. And I think that we people continue to use these programs because they don't have they don't know what else to do. This is something different, but it's really out of the box. And maybe for some people it will be scary to implement. But I'm telling you, do not be scared. Because it's what's best for kids. I mean, when you think of yourself as an educator, I totally didn't think twice about doing this because number one, it's democratic. That's what we should be bringing kids together, and that's what we did. And it's teaching to the point of need more than any of these other programs could in the context of reading. So intuitively, it makes total sense. So why not do it? Because the other stuff hasn't really been working, especially for my struggling kids. So I got to try something else. And thank God in New York City, we were mandated by the chancellor to be innovative. So I was given the freedom to do it, and I did. And it was my head on the chopping block. I was willing to lose my job over it. And I think, as educators, you have to, for kids. Anyway, it worked, and it works, and you should try it.